Hey guys, one thing that we definitely love to do here on The Point is interact with you and ask you for your comments. I do it at the end of every story, and thankfully a lot of you guys share really fascinating details about your personal lives and your thoughts on the particular stories that we cover that week. And I want to thank you for doing that. And I want to respond to a few of the comments that I read and absolutely appreciated and enjoyed, or comments that I felt made a good point about a particular story. So let's go ahead and start off with Primitive Patriot. He or she wrote about the PewDiePie story where he decided to disable his comments. He did so because he was frustrated with all the negative comments and all the spam he was getting in his YouTube videos. Well, here's what Primitive Patriot had to say. Totally agree with Anna here. I actually appreciate the trolls and their so-called toxic comments. For me, it's a matter of contrast. If all the comments on every video I watched were 100% positive, reasonable, and respectful, I think the whole thing would get boring rather quickly, and the internet would soon become a conformity-soaked nightmare. You need idiots to be able to tell who the thoughtful, intelligent comments are. And honestly, with all the attention negative comments get, people tend to overlook how many good discussions actually happen, even on YouTube. I think that that's a really great point. I'm not in favor of censorship. Even if someone has something hateful to say, they should have a platform to say their hateful things. A lot of times those things are directed toward me, and it's not my job to shut them out. It's my job to have thicker skin and kind of decipher whether or not a comment is constructive or if it's something that's just stupid to be stupid. So I agree, I don't want to censor people, but look, PewDiePie can do whatever he wants to do. It's his channel, and if he decides he wants to disable comments, that's on him. All right, when we did the story about that horrific ice bucket challenge, we got Brianna Cpone to respond to it, right? And for those of you who don't know that story, there was a really sad situation in Cleveland, Ohio, where an autistic teenager thought he was going to participate in the ice bucket challenge, but these 5 unidentified teens poured feces, urine, spit, and cigarette butts on him instead. Here's what Brianna had to say. I've never done a real prank, but I remember being younger at sleepovers, we would call people from each other's phone, people we knew, and prank them. But they were always lighthearted, and we always revealed ourselves soon after. I think this is one of those pranks that just goes too far. In every sense of the word, it was just wrong. If I knew who did this and this happened to someone I care about, I would probably go to jail for assault. I'm a very kind and sweet person, but hurting someone I love is off limits. The only way I would contain myself is if someone calmed me down. I think Brianna makes a really good point. I think that it's beyond weak and lame to attack someone who doesn't have the same amount of power as you. So in this case, there was a teenager who was autistic, and 5 other teens thought that it would be a great idea to take advantage of that. And that is the opposite of courage. That is the opposite of strength. That is weakness, and that is probably the most disappointing thing my children would do if I had kids. Like, if I found out that my kids did this, I would be unbelievably shocked and embarrassed and disappointed. And I think it's up to parents to really teach their kids that instead of bullying a weaker person, it's definitely much more admirable to defend weaker people, to go out of your way to protect them. That's something that would obviously get a lot more love. It would get better attention. Instead, these teenagers are now facing criminal charges for what they did, and they should face criminal charges. That type of bullying should not be tolerated under any circumstance. So Brianna, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts on that. All right, let's move on. We did a story about a porn star who went out of her way to get bigger boobs. She filmed, or was going to film, a porn where she was gonna do like a gangbang situation. Anyway, and Elaine Belso responded to that, and the question we asked was, have you ever been judged for something you've done? Here's what he had to say. I got judged for struggling in university and not quitting. A lot of people told me I should just give up and get a job, including my ex-girlfriend's dad. I had friends and family tell me no one would ever hire a 40-year-old university graduate. I was hoping to get more support from some of these people, but I made the choice to keep at it despite their negative comments. You only live once. I won't let others dictate my life. I couldn't agree more. There are haters out there. There are people that will always doubt you. I had a situation this morning, without getting into too many details, where someone literally told me, you're not good enough. and you use that for motivation. You want to have that what now moment where you do succeed at what they said you wouldn't succeed at, and you basically give them the middle finger, you know, figuratively speaking. It's a really good feeling. So if you feel firm in what you're doing and you believe that you will be successful and you're doing the right thing, keep going for it. All right, we did a story about a wine bar in a French hospital, and the bar was supposed to be for terminally ill patients, you know, to help them enjoy life a little bit. And the question that I asked was, what would you do with 1 week to live? Bruce Bartup said the following: "For me, 55 with Parkinson's disease, this is not so much a theoretical as a practical problem. I may have 5 years, maybe not much more, maybe some less. For me, as a socialist atheist, this is an easy question. Again, it's a matter of consistency. You give all you can to the world, take as much as you need, don't be a martyr or a prude, don't die with any fun in the bank, or any love. It doesn't matter if it's 50 years, 5 weeks, or 5 seconds. Altruism with common sense and moderation is a much better game." I love that statement. I mean, I think that he gives really great life advice, not only to those who are facing a terminal illness, but those who are healthy and know that they're going to live long lives. You have to be a good person, not just because that's what's been told that we need to do, but because when you are a good person, good things usually happen to you. You're usually surrounded by good people. And enjoy your life. Don't let anyone else dictate what you do, as long as what you want to do doesn't harm others, right? So that's the reason why I have that whole do you boo philosophy. Even though it sounds goofy, it's true. You got to do what makes you happy at the end of the day, because you only live once. So I want to end with one last comment that we got, and this was on the fire challenge that we discussed. The question I asked is there any pain you actually enjoy? And Skizar said the following: "I fucking love the sensation of getting a tattoo, but hate needles in the context of getting shots, having blood drawn, or even acupuncture. Something about the tenderizing sensation of getting a tattoo has even put me to sleep in the past." I disagree on all counts. Well, I agree with the shots for vaccines and you know, whatever. I can't stand that, but I like the thought of enjoying a tattoo is inconceivable. I don't have any tattoos. One of the reasons why is because I'm afraid of the needle, and another reason why is because I haven't really found anything that I want to commit to enough for a tattoo. But yeah, that's not the kind of pain I'm into. Like maybe a little no, I'm not going to go there. Anyway, all right. Now, someone had a question for me. I want to put that up really quick. Let's take a look. Question for Anna: what thought went immediately through your mind when one of your guests mentioned lighting his neighbor's cats on fire as a kid? Actually, the only thought that went through my mind was, that sounds insane, and I want to get off it. Let's talk about something else. I think as kids, you make really bad decisions and bad mistakes. I'm sure that I was guilty of doing something bad that I've probably forgot about at this point, but, you know, I wanted to move on. Anyway, like I said, I love reading your comments. I love hearing what you guys have to say about the show. Viewer engagement means everything to us here at The Point. So anytime I ask you a question and you have a good answer for it, comment in the section below. Tell us what you think, share your stories, and we love reading it and we love sharing it in these videos. I hope you guys enjoyed, and never forget to make your point.